Did you know that the NeverEnding Story was like a German book? That blew my mind. I thought for sure it was some crazy 80s original. I haven't read it, but going over the synopsis, I realized that the 1984 film covers half the book, and the often hated NeverEnding Story 2 is taken from the second half of the novel. I think the biggest problem that disconnects these two movies is that the first film left out a key piece of information, which is whenever someone makes a wish on the Oran, they lose one of their memories. I might be losing some of you already, so let me recap the film. It opens to introduce Bastian, a young boy who loves fantasy, gets beaten up by bullies a lot, and has a mom who passed away. They don't give us an exact date, but I get the impression that she died within the last year or so because Bastian's relationship with his father is still in that awkward and trying to find its balance without the glue of the mother to hold the family together kind of place. Anyways, while running away from bullies, Bastian hides in a bookshop where this old man uses reverse psychology to get Bastian to steal/borrow the NeverEnding Story. Bastian then goes to school and hides up in their attic until he finishes the entire book. Because, it's the 80s, so a kid not coming home all night probably resulted in his dad going, "Yes, he must have made a friend, finally!" Well, this book actually takes the reader into the story, not metaphorically, but physically. Well, kind of. While reading, Bastian actually lives as Atreyu, the protagonist, as he fights against the Nothing taking over the world of Fantasia. The Nothing just rolls through and turns everything into, this kind of void darkness. Not death, just nothing. And by the end, Bastian has to name the ruler of Fantasia, the childlike empress, and he apparently dubs her Moonchild of all things. I mean, it's really hard to hear it because it's going on over thunder and lightning, but if you put on the right subtitles, it says Moonchild. Then Bastian is brought into the book as his own character and given the Oran with the understanding that every wish he makes will make Fantasia more glorious. It's loosely implied that Bastian making wishes will keep writing more pages in the book to showcase his adventures, but as the sequel shows us, magic always comes with a price, dearie. At first I was going to theorize with the angle that the NeverEnding Story was a cursed book, and it forced you to either keep reading or live with the guilt of killing off all the characters by abandoning them, which would have made the old man in the bookshop kind of evil. But considering the sequel, I think the issue might be more complex than that. So if Bastian was given the Oran, and that wrote him into the story by name and allowed him to enter Fantasia with his own body, then that means the old man would have had a similar experience. Fantasia is built of all the dreams and imaginations of the people who visit it, which is a neat little detail if you consider that the owner of the book had a bookstore. It was like the old man was reading books so that he could keep feeding Fantasia new ideas and keep it rejuvenated. But as the name suggests, the old man is not a young man. He's in the winter of his life, he probably has health issues, and he knows that he can't keep Fantasia going much longer. And after living in this fantasy world for so many years, maybe even decades, I am certain that the stress of that situation made the old man feel a lot of helpless despair. Maybe even enough hopelessness to kick off the Nothing that is destroying the world he loves so much. But if no one is reading the book, then the world doesn't exist. So the old man had to keep reading the NeverEnding Story while he found a protege, which just made the Nothing grow stronger. As the old man read the pages and saw what his mindset was doing to Fantasia, he had to find someone new, someone much younger, to take his place. That's where Bastian comes in and reads about this crazy journey of a young boy trying to save his world by finding a human child, which ultimately sucks Bastian into the book too. Yeah, this book does sound a little evil, doesn't it? I'm actually not convinced that it isn't, especially not if it offers a real fantasy world that's so alluring that the readers never live their real lives to have families and such, which could be the case with the old man. But here's something that has really bothered me. If the old man was written into the books at one point and became part of the story like Bastian, then where is he in this story? I know, he passed the book over to the next generation and all, but he should still exist in the pages somewhere, right? Well, I think he does, because I believe that the old man is Atreyu. If the old man had started reading the NeverEnding Story when he was a boy, that would be the time that he got physically put inside the book, meaning his character could stay the same age forever. I mean, sometimes we'll see a series series where an author will write 20 or more books and barely a year will pass in the timeline. So it's not unfeasible for Atreyu to stay the same age for 100 years or more. Hey, we also have a character called the Childlike Empress, meaning she's not actually a child, she just looks like one. And that could have been the first person to have ever read the book, which is why the nothing is particularly hard for Atreyu to accept, because he subconsciously knows that his real-life counterpart created it. If I haven't convinced you yet, consider the sequel where each wish on the Oran steals one memory from your life. Where do those memories go? Who do they belong to? Well, since the Oran is part of the book, I would argue that the lost memories are taken to be used by the book too. Maybe they do it to create more relatable characters, events, or scenarios, or perhaps they're taken so that the book can see into the user's mind, or otherwise more easily manipulate them into staying in Fantasia longer. After all, if the book exists, then it probably wants to survive because it has some level of consciousness. So if your memories belong to the book, eventually your mind is all within the book, and your human body is just an empty shell existing to serve the only thing you know or enjoy, living within Fantasia. Seriously, this book is like a demon, and once it makes you a husk of a person, it guilts you into passing it on to the next rube, because no matter how much you give it, the story is never over, never satisfied. Every time you look at the pages, there's a new threat that has to be dealt with. There's also the possibility that the old man's mind has become so unrecognizable to the NeverEnding Story over the years that the book has created a second character for him. The old man has also become the wolf that serves the nothing. Think about it. The wolf doesn't know why he works for the nothing. He doesn't even know why he supports it, since the wolf can't be spared. He's almost uncontrollably pushing the agenda for the nothing, the issue that both terrifies and can free the old man. So this all boils down to mean that the old man has lost everything to the NeverEnding Story because he was addicted to living his life as Atreyu the hero, and Bastian, unfortunately, is probably trapped going down the same path. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have two other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.